Hello everybody and welcome to one more video here in the channel. And today I brought you my box. I have posted this earlier this week and I noticed that people just loved it. So I brought it here to show what is inside. I have a collection of many different tools that I use for my solo gameplay, but also I use them to help me here and there in when I'm GMing or DMing a game, which I am going to do this weekend on Sunday, February 16th, I think that's the day. And that's what inspired the creation of this box because I was preparing my adventure, which is like this one. Just wanted to show you. I also posted a short video about this, but we are not going to into that in this video. But that's inspired me to create this box because I started looking for, I have to take some dice, I have to take this and that, and it's better if I have like some map grid or something like that. And then I spiraled into creating a collection of what are my favorite tools to use, not only for that particular game, but for playing solo in general, because I just remember that that is something that I do every time I want to play like a more complex game like D&D, where there are so many rules and so many rolls of dice, and that I need like maps and other things because I like the immersive feeling of having those things. I remember that more often than not, I go hunting for things in my like closets and stuff. So I decided to create like a ready to play box that is also a ready to go box. If I'm going to be the master of some game, I can just take this and it's going to serve me, even though I'm not going to use all of these tools being a dungeon master in a particular game, but I am going to use all those tools in a solo game. So it kind of a blended of both things. So let's go into that box. I just wanted to preface that this box is not totally complete. There are some things that I'm still tweaking, and I'm going to tell you about them when we get there. But this is just a like regular like compartmented box that I found in a store, in a like a convenience store that we have here, and I'm sure you can find these anywhere like close to your house, stores that sell like little containers and stuff like that. You're probably going to find something very similar and you can use those. So I put a yellow sticker on the lid because I like yellow and I wanted something to cover up because it's organized, but it's not organized. It's kind of a mess because, it is what it is. So let's not dwell too much about it. So I created this. This is not like a store-bought thing. I printed three sections of a hex grid, and in the back I printed three sections of a square grid, and then I laminated this thing. And if you are the type of person who creates your own material for games for yourself or for your friends, contact paper, best thing. Just an extra tip for this game. Let me get a little bit more light, even though we're going to get some reflections here. So I made this because, as I said, I like the immersive feeling of playing a game. So if I'm playing a dungeon crawling or a exploration crawling, map crawling, I like to be drawing things and moving around and having a record of what I did, and then I can photograph it and erase it again. The contact paper is just so that I can writing here, drawing here, and even if the marker is not like perfectly ready to erase, it's not a dry erase marker, which is usually what I use, like some of these. I can like writing here and just erase it and all fine. I can use a damp cloth. I can also use alcohol if sometimes I do that. I leave the drawing here like for a while, and it takes time. And when I come back, it's kind of hard to erase it. I just go with alcohol on top of it, and being just contact paper, just plastic, it doesn't really ruin the thing like it would ruin using alcohol in a whiteboard. So that's great. And so I'm going to just fold it back. It doesn't really fold flat because I just made it. I just made it. So I'm going to leave it here. So let's go here. We have like 3 sections. Let's start in this middle section because I have like some layers in them. I play games that sometimes use deck of cards, and I have these special decks of cards with maps on them. I didn't want to take the elastics, but I'm going to just so I can show you the details. This is called Pocket Lens. They are geomorph cards. There's a website here for you. And this is the Kingdom edition. There are other like editions to it. There are some like, there is a desert edition. There's a Snowland or Frostlands edition with all like snowy things. I like the Kingdom edition because it has, here we have a card of the terrains. Yeah, we have a great selection of different terrain here. So that's why I specifically got the Kingdom edition, because I think it's more versatile. But the creator of this deck, he made all these different editions, and you can just combine them together and like pick and choose cards from each one and make your own deck. I just like this one, so I don't bother with other decks. I may get those in the future, I don't know, but this one has been serving me very well. And each card, I didn't show you, why am I putting it back? Each card has a different like part of the map, and the idea is that you're going to be picking cards. There are some specific rules on how to do it and putting them together to like make a big map. For solo game, this is so great, but I have used it for group game as well. But my main purpose with this one is solo game, so that works. Okay, I like modular things, things that I can break apart and then build them together in very different ways. So that does it for me. So this is a map alternative if I don't want to draw and I don't have like a set structure for my map. I can just make it with these ones. They are already ready for me to use them. I also have the deck of many dungeons, and I have a few videos in here, including a archived live that I had on TikTok of me explaining this deck and using it to build a dungeon. And this is a deck that designed much like this one, where you have modular parts, but this one is parts of dungeons. So you can see like different rooms, you can see in some of them like halls. And you have the tables, like tables of monsters, table of treasure, tables of like traps. And we have here, I probably not find one here, but we have table of sounds, like this one that is upside down, I don't know why. Like sounds that you may hear in the corridor that may be relating to the monster that is here, or some clue that the dungeon master wants the players to find. And smells, there's just everything set here. These were designed to fit D&D 5e. So the tables have the monsters that are present in D&D 5e. They are just set for D&D 5e, but there are no stats. There's really nothing here. And as we know, a lot of systems share monsters. You can find like ghosts and zombies and all those monsters in multiple games. So you can totally play this in other games. You just ignore the thing about, player level and all those things if you want, and adapt. Dungeon masters are very good at adapting. Or you just ignore totally the tables here and you just pay attention to what you see in the image, and it's a monster, so whatever the system you're using, use one of those monsters in here. Blood, put whatever you want in here if you're playing solo or if you're playing with your friends. So this is it. And this doubles, I don't know if you notice, as a playing card deck. And I was debating with me when I started to create this, hey, I have a mini playing cards deck, I can put it here. And there was no space. And I was like, how do I do that? And then I realized, oh, I have a playing cards deck here. I don't need another one. I already have one. I sometimes forget that this is also a deck of playing cards that is really fun. So yeah, that's 2-in-1, and I can use it for also playing cards, or if I love puzzles in my games, especially if I'm DMing for other people. I love making them solve puzzles. It's hard for solo to make yourself solve your own puzzle. Like, I haven't found a way to make that work, but if I'm DMing or GMing, I love making puzzles for people to solve. And sometimes you can use cards, you can use dice, you can use dominoes. We're going to get there. I have dominoes in here. So these are the 2 decks I have there. And the 3rd deck is a tarot card deck. Some of my games, including one that I'm going to launch soon, that is mine, but some of the games that I found online that I can play solo use a tarot card deck. And if I ever have a long enough campaign in D&D, I have this idea of putting a deck of many things into it, just for the heck of it. And yes, I can use this one for that as well. But I love tarot. They are so mystical. I sometimes pick a PC, a player character for myself, or like I help my players get one from tarot cards. So we pull one and we see whatever it is in there. We make that into the character. So mini tarot deck is also here, and I intended to put one. This is like the traditional, one of the most traditional ones, but I want to put one that is more fantasy-like in here. But for now, this is the one I'm using because it's the one that is ready. I have some coins in here, and I have some ideas of other coins to put in here, but for now these are the ones that I have. They are replicas of the faceless man coin from Game of Thrones. So I think they're fun, and it's kind of nice to like, okay, let's flip for it in a game with other players. I have had like 2 players like debating something and they decided to flip, so they asked for a coin, and that really helps in some cases in the game. And I have this one. It's not a coin, but it kind of works like a coin, and it's fun and cute and yellow. So I leave it here because why not? But it's the same purpose. And these are my markers. I found these cute multicolor mini skulls, and I painted some of them so that I would have more colors, and I use them. There are 13 here as of now because I haven't found other colors or other ones that I can paint and add here. So there's plenty for all the characters to choose their own color, and me having like some monsters in the table, because I don't have miniatures. I don't work a lot with miniatures, at least not yet. So these are the things that I use in my little maps, and they are small enough that I can even use them on these ones right here if it is the case. And the last one is a mini domino set that I made this custom box, like a match, a matchbox. Because they are so old. Seriously, I have this since I was like a child, I think. Many, many years. I think probably a decade and a half at least. At least. And they are mini. I love them. So I want to put them in a little box that would fit in here. So I kind of made it a little bit too loose. You can see there's a little bit of space left in here, but it does fit and it stays safe in here. And I use dominoes. First of all, the easy way is make them into a puzzle that has to be like, things have to be rearranged. I have used this with some players before. I have also gone down a rabbit hole of finding RPGs and games that use dominoes. Just look online, you'll find some, and I may make a video about those. But yeah, I have them here. Or you can just do what we all have done, or I think we all have done that. Please tell me if you haven't. But we can use them are like little structures to build things. And I'm not going to be able to do this here because this box is not leveled, but you know, like I can make a little hut or house. I don't know how I would call it. But, you know, like I can build things. I can build a little tower and things can go crumbling down when the players come at it. You know, fun times all around. So that's why I have my little dominoes in here. They can also be a very versatile tool, and you can make mini games with them, or you can find specific games just like the tarot deck that use them as like the main focus of the game. So let me now put everything back in here so we can go to the sides, which I think are going to be faster to go on about because there's not a lot more than just dice in there. So let me put this back in here. Yeah, you fit here. Good. Okay, so in this side I have just simply 4 sets of dice. I don't intend on keeping 4 sets of dice here all the time, but the other thing I want to put in here, they have not arrived yet. They were actually not shipped yet. There's a whole story I'm going to tell you. But the reason I have the dice set is because most of the games, most of the RPGs, we are used to use these dice. So they are like the main RPG tool we know and love. I love them. So I put them in the side. I intend on having 2 or 3, probably 3 sets of dice at all times in here. And it's going to vary which dice set I put in here based on the ones I get and the ones I fall in love with and the ones that enter my favorite dice set list, because that's the thing. But yeah, I intend on having 3 sets of dice because I always use one. And if maybe I have to make a 3d8 or 7d8 or 10d6 roll, I can reduce the amount of times I roll like a single dice by combining like 3 dice and in this case 4 dice. Also, it's very common when I go to GM a game in a free event. That is what's going to happen on Sunday, is a initiative from our RPG association, and we do have an RPG association here in my city. It's actually a statewide thing, but we are the capital, so we have like a specific place, like a headquarters kind of thing. And it's going to be what we call RPG Day, and some game masters are going to be there to introduce to new players or just welcome old players to have a day of fun playing games. And we're going to have like some games in the morning, some games in the afternoon. I intend on be the game master during the morning and then playing with some other master there in the afternoon, but we will see how that goes. And it's very common to get new people that don't have dice because they are just getting into the hobby or they are just getting to know and they want to see what it is RPG, which is pretty awesome. That's why I love those events. And they don't have dice, so I can share a set with them or with the table if no one has dice, because that has happened before a couple of times, and they can just share the dice and play. So it's important for me to have at least 2 or 3 sets. I think 3 is a good number for me for the level of games I used to GM on those moments, and I just think 3 is enough for a like grab and go box to a ready to go box. That's what this is. And this fourth one is here because, as I said, I had this space empty and I love this set. I'm going to have a hard time deciding which one gets out or which ones gets out, because I have other sets coming in to sort things out. But this is a wasp dice set that I have. My idea for the last compartment here is to put some dice that are random generators. So I have this creator here in Brazil, and she's the one that made these 2 dice, actually, these 2 sets in here, this more ethereal set in here that I love, and this one that I custom commissioned. Let me show you. I love the D6 on this set. They have full moons inside them, and the D6 really shows like the full moon and the starry night. She made this one as a commission. I specifically asked, I want a full moon inside my dice, and she made it, and I love it. And she started making the end of last year some random generators, like some treasure generators. So that is like a dice, and each face is a symbol of a different treasure or a different thing that you can find inside the dungeon. She has a alignment dice for D&D. She has now just launched a classes and races dice. So I'm getting all of those and putting them here. And the reason I don't have any of them yet is because on Black Friday she made like a real big sale, and I of course got some of those dice there. But then I contacted her because we have talked before due to those 2 orders that I placed, and I said, hey, don't send my order, hold it please, because I have more things to ask from you. And she held it, and in December I talked to her again and I commissioned another custom set. And then at the end of December, like beginning of January, I commissioned a jumbo D20, and she's making that one now. And then she just launched the dice that I told you about, the random class generator and the random race generator. And I contacted her yesterday at night saying, hold my order again because you're making those for me. So she's basically not sending my stuff because I keep asking her to hold it, because she keeps creating nice things and I want them all. And shipping is a little bit expensive and weird here in my country, so we always try to like compile things into one box so that we pay a single shipping. So that's why. But they are going to come here and they are going to be in this last spot. It's reserved for it, but I'm not going to leave it empty, so I put another set of dice here, and the more the merrier for those situations when the players don't have dice. So I have that here. Then I have here a huge collection of D6s, like they go deep down. Let me show you this. So yeah, and they have like dots in blue, and the number 1 and the number 4 were red for some reason. I don't know if there's explanation, and you guys know, please let me know, because I have no idea why blue and red and different colors in the same dice. But the thing is, I posted also a few weeks ago, I think, about a solo game that I found about you being a witch and living as a witch, and the game is all about that. And the mechanics of this game uses a tarot card and uses a lot of D6s. And the way they use the D6s, I'm going to explain better in a dedicated video, but basically they recommend you have at least 21, if I'm not mistaken, 21 D6s. And I didn't have that many. I mean, I have like my sets and I have like some loose D6s around, but I didn't have 21. Nor did I have more than that. And they say at least 21. So once I was like, it was last week, I think, I was out running some errands, and one of the stores I really like to shop for beauty products and stuff, they have a stationery area, and right next to it there is a toys area, and I saw some dice sets that came in like these little boxes, and there were 10 on each box, and they were really cheap, and the quality is really great, to be honest with you. And I bought 3, so I have 30 now. They are here, and I also had 2 of the same type of dice already in here, so I have 32. I think it's plenty for me to play that game, so I can start that now. That was the only reason I hadn't started, because the mechanic with all these D6s, it sounded really fun. I'm going to make a video about it and you're going to see, but it sounded really fun, the way the dice are used and rolled, and it's not a thing of like, oh, roll 8 D6s and you can roll like 1 8 times. No, that is a little peculiarity on how it's done, and I'm going to tell you in a dedicated video. So I needed all the dice, so I got, and it's always good to have D6s. I think they are like a really very used type of dice, so I'm glad I have them now, and I'm set for a long time. And then I have here 3 sets of the story cubes that I have made a lot of short videos and TikToks about. They are basically collections of dice. There are 9 dice in each set, and each dice has different icons on them. And the idea is you can pick like a selection of them. You can pick all of them if you want, just 1, 2, 3, all 9, and you can roll them, and the icons that come up help you create a story. The idea is that you can create a story with those icons. I have used this a lot as a let me say, as a oracle to like get answers. That's what inspired my my little iconic oracle, and there are links for all my games and products on the description, so you can check them. I have an iconic oracle that is a D12 by D12 table and full of icons, and you can roll on that. It's more compact than those dice, but these are great to roll. They're big and nice, so I keep them here. I have the traditional, which is the regular set, the Fantasia, that is the fantasy one, because it's my favorite genre of games, of RPG, so I had to have this one. And I was a teacher for kids. I taught first a little bit of mathematics, and then I started teaching English as a second language. And these action ones, this is the action set. Each face has an icon referring to an action, so we can have it here like read. And is this crying? I think this is crying. Yeah, he has like a big thumb hurt. So it can be crying, it can be hurt, it can be like many things. So that's what I like about these iconic things, these things that use icons. Each icon can represent so many things depending on the person that is interpreting them or the situation that you're rolling on. And I just love those. There are so many other different sets. As I said, traditional, fantasy, and actions. There is a mystery one. There is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is a professions one. There's a Batman one. There is a Harry Potter one. There is like a bunch of things. There is a space one, if I'm not mistaken. These are the 3 that I really like and that I have used in games. So that's why I have them here. And sometimes they generate like really awesome things. So I want to keep them here. So keep in mind, this is not just a box for me as a game master, it's also a box of tools, of like ready to go tools for almost any game I want to play solo. So that was my purpose in here, and we close it with the map, and then I can have it set to go. And I may tweak this with time, as I said, like maybe put different ways of marking like characters and spots, maybe even put some miniatures here, I don't know. Changing like the tarot deck is going to be one of the changes I'm going to make in the future, the new dice. These might change, but I like this structure. It's like all separated. I like the organization of things that is not all jumbled up inside a box. They are like sectioned. I love this, and it all fits together. I used to, this box I already used for my GMing and stuff. I used to have like a pencil in here, and I think I can still do that if I can find a pencil here. I am a mechanical pencil girly, so I prefer those. Yeah, this one's a little bit too fat for here, but I have some thin ones that I can fit in here to be my own pencil. But I usually, what I do when I'm going to be a game master or a dungeon master, I take like a small pencil case together with my set, and this doesn't take a lot of space, and I can take more pencils to share with people that, believe me, they will not take, even if it's a planned session, if it's not just an event to new people. A lot of people don't take their own pencil, so I can give them some. And that's it. That's my ready to go RPG game box kind of thing. And tell me what you think about it, what you like, what would you add to your box, what ideas do you have, and any questions that I may not have answered in this video, put them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video because that's really helpful to me, and I can't wait to hear from you and answer your comments. Bye bye.